Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, what all was done in the previous class yesterday? Yes, Sumanyu?
Now we talk about the poet, about the cost, and the progress what we have to do on the
Okay. It was regarding which poem? Yes, Tanisha?
The road not taken.
The road not taken. Okay. And who would like to tell about the pre-reading activity?
Now in the pre-reading activities, we have to write the decisions which we took earlier or the hard decisions which we take in the future.
Okay. So, was it that we just had to write or we could draw also? Yes, yes, it was to be represented pictorially. Okay, so I have received a few registers and I can show you the beautiful work done by some of our students. Okay, this has been done by Ribuka. Ribuka, would you like to tell about the reading activity that you have submitted?
Yes, madam. I have made the choices that I will make in future.
Yeah, the choices. So he has actually shown the stream choices that you have to take up in the coming times. Okay, so now moving forward, we have covered up the poet regarding Robert Frost. We have already read. Okay, now I'll be skipping on to that part because we have already covered that.
Be meant to.
And before that, now moving on to the next part is the recitation in this video. Okay, and along with the recitation for each stanza we have associated photographs also, pictures also. I want you all to understand what all you can out of the given picture. Okay, you all already have been given this worksheet. So you can see the activity one, the box is over here. Okay. So for each box you have to write down what you understand from the given stanza. For stanza 1 and along with the picture, what you understand out of it and write down whatever comes to your mind, the gist of it. Okay? So then thereafter I will be giving up the summary. Okay? So here I'm starting with it. In case you want, I can take up a few pauses.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equal.
Okay, so we have just read two stanzas. Okay, can you please quickly write down the gist or whatever you understand out of it with the help of the pictures given. Okay, for the first two stanzas only, and you have them in your book also. Okay, Charlie, can you tell about the first stanza?
In the first stanza, the poet came across two roads and he was thinking which road to choose and which not. So he had to make a choice in that particular stanza.
Okay, yes. So the poet came across a fork in the road and he had to make a choice. Okay, what about the second stanza? So Manju, yes, Pita?
Ma'am, actually the poet had decided he took one of the roads because according to him it looked more promising.
Okay, so which one he took and why was the second stanza about? Okay, now moving forward, I'm going over to the third stanza and the fourth one.
In leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back.
Third stanza, write about it first. Sejal, would you like to tell about it?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, this stanza the poet has explained that how he kept the first road for another day, but he knew that it was not possible to come back to this road.
Very good, very well said. Okay, so how one road leads on to the next road and how it is impossible for someone to track back to the earlier road, right? Now moving on to the fourth stanza.
I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
Yes. Okay. Write about it, Tita. Parinita, would you like to tell about it? The fourth stanza?
Yes, ma'am. So the poet says that in the coming ages, when he gets old, he will tell his children or anyone about the decisions he made.
Yes. What impacted his life? What he was, and because of what he was that, right? Okay. So now I would like to go on to the next part. Okay. Here is the summary part which is there given in the video. Okay. Before that, moving on to the next part, I would like you to take out the pencil and number each and every line in the book. Just number each and every line, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Right? So this is going to be your second activity. Okay? So what the idea behind this activity is that I will be asking you to understand the summary, and you will be telling me which line it summarizes. Okay? I'll be pausing after, I'll try and pause after each and every line.
Let's take a closer look at the poem, The Road Not Taken, and see what it's about.
Have you all numbered?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Really? Numbering done? Arpit, numbering done? Ara, what about you?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now I'm beginning with it. I'll try and pause with each and every summary, okay, of each and every line. I'll ask you which line is being summarized, okay. So just keep an eye over here and keep your minds open.
One autumn morning, the speaker walks through the woods.
Okay. So, Advait, which line is it?
Ma'am, it is the first line in which it's written, two roads diverge in a given road.
Yes, two roads diverge in a yellow road. Right. So who is the speaker over here?
The poet.
Okay, very good. Now, so this is the meaning for the first line. Now let's move forward.
He comes across a fork in the road.
Now, Nimesh, what line is it?
Ma'am, it's line number 7. I'm sorry, I could not travel well.
Okay, yes. This is what he says later. Okay.
He stands for a long time, wondering which of the two roads he should take.
Okay. So here, this particular line talks about the first two lines, I would say. Okay, two roads diverged in a yellow road, and sorry I could not travel more. This shows that how regretful the poet is. Why? Because he wanted to be there on both the roads, but he could not travel anywhere. Right? Being just one traveler, this was his inability to be there on both the roads. Right? This is what is being described over here. Okay?
He feels sorry that he cannot walk down both of them at once.
Yes. Okay. Which line, Mita? Yes.
Ma'am, that again is the second line. Here he says that he has to make a decision and a choice,
Yes.
which will decide his future.
Yes.
He could not make both of the choices.
Yes. So being sorry is the regret. The regret is for not being able to travel on both the roads. Okay? It's not being able to travel on the one that he will be choosing in the coming times. Okay? The regret is for not being able to be on both the roads, or maybe travel on the one that he feels that is not appropriate enough for him to travel as a life. Okay?
Feels sorry that he cannot walk down both of them at once. He peers down one road to see where it goes. But he can only see up to the first bend as plants and foliage block his view.
Okay, which one? Yes.
Ma'am, these lines correspond to the fourth and fifth lines of the stanza. Ma'am, they say, and look down, one as far as I could, to where tread in the flood.
Yes, very well said. Okay, so it corresponds to the line number 34, and so he here says that and look down as far as I could, and then to where it went in the undergrowth. Okay, so here I would like to ask you a few things here. Okay, what does this road stand for? Yes. The choices, okay, the life and the choices that we make, okay. Then regarding this particular phrase over here, plants and foliage, which word in the given poem corresponds to it? Yes, Nita?
Ma'am, undergrowth.
Undergrowth. So can you please tell me the relevance of undergrowth? What is being said over here by the word undergrowth? Yes.
Ma'am, the unknown possibilities which we may face when we go down that road or the choices.
Yes, yes, because when you are there on a road, you might not be able to see beyond it because of this particular undergrowth. What is undergrowth? Undergrowth are those plants which actually there at the base of the trunk of the tree, okay? And because of which, wherever there is a bend, you are not able to see beyond it, right? It blocks your view. Similarly, in your life also, you will not be able to see what comes ahead. Okay? You might take a road, you might start walking on it, but you will not be able to understand what will be coming along your way thereafter, right? Everything will be able to understand only when you take up that road and you start walking on it. You make a choice and you take it up and you start, living it, right? So here, that is what is meant by plants and foliage. That is the unknown possibilities which are there, right? Fine. So now, moving forward.
He then decides to take the other road, which is grassy. Initially, he thinks the road he has chosen has not been walked upon, but later he concludes it is as worn as the other road.
Regarding the previous one, when he decides to take the other road, which is grassy. Okay, Tanisha, yes,
Ma'am, it is signified as sixth line.
okay. And the sixth line is then took the other as just as fair. There's a simile over here. As just as fair. So what is being compared with what?
Ma'am, the two roads are being compared.
Yes. Okay, two roads are being compared. So that comes to that takes us to the next part, where in this one, where he dwells, dwelling is to think, to ponder upon something. Okay. So he dwells that both roads are equally covered with leaves. And on that particular morning, nobody has trodden on them. That is the reason why both of them look equally good. Or maybe he is not able to decipher which one to go on, right? So here, this is the meaning of which two lines? 11 and 2. Okay? So now moving forward.
On that morning, the leaves have not been crushed under people's steps. The speaker tells himself that he will come back and take the other road sometime in the future.
Yes. Okay, so what about this one? Yes. Okay, so next two lines which are these two lines which actually means that he is telling himself that he will be coming, he will not be able to come back and walk on those roads, okay? And he just makes himself, he consoles himself in a way that yes, he might be able to come back and he might be able to walk on those lines someday. Okay, so Nimesh, can you please read those two lines which correspond to this summary?
This one, line number 13 and 14. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how the way leads on to it.
Okay, so what is the meaning of leading of one way onto the another way? Yes.
Ma'am, that one road will always lead to another road.
Yes, when you make one choice, you will walk on to the subsequent thing which that particular choice will be taking you to, right? So that is the meaning of this particular line, and you will never be able to come to the initial starting point, okay? So you'll never be able to come back to the initial point and be back on the same choice level, same road where you were earlier. You'll always move on ahead. Right? So now let's move ahead. Yes.
Yet, deep down, he knows that the road he has chosen will lead him to other ways, which will take him far from where he has started. It is unlikely.
Yes. Okay. So here, that deep down he knows that road he has chosen will lead him to other ways, which will take him far from where he has started. Okay. So yes, Jimmy.
Line number 14.
Yes. Line number 14. Okay. Very well said. Again, it is yet knowing how one way leads on to another way.
The ways which will take him far from where he has started. It is unlikely that he will ever come back and take the other road.
Yes. Ayush.
This is line 15. Board, I doubted if I should ever come.
Okay, I doubted if I should ever come back. Why is he doubting? Why is he doubtful? Yes, Manish.
Mark, because he thinks that it is less traveled, so maybe there is a chance that he can get attacked.
Okay, it is less traveled. Yes.
And maybe because deep down he knows that it is not possible.
Yes, deep down he knows that it is not possible logically. And if you look at yourself, you will see that it is not possible in your life. When you want to start with something, okay, you keep on moving ahead, you will never come back.
The speaker thinks that someday in the future, he will look back at his decision with a sigh.
Okay. Yes, Priya.
This is line number 16. I shall be telling this with a sigh.
I shall be telling this with a sigh. Why with a sigh? What is the sigh? Yes? Yes? Yes?
Sigh is kind of that he is reflecting on that he was not taking the first road and took the second road.
Okay, he was regretting, right? So, was the regret because he took the second road, or was the regret for not being able to take the first road? Yes, Alka.
Now the regret was for not being able to take the first road
Yes.
and see where he will reach in life.
Very good, very well said. Okay, so the regret, the sigh was that sigh can be the sigh of sadness. Why? Because of regret, because he could not take the first road. Right? He took the second one. He left it for some other day, and he knows very well that he never will be able to come back.
He will then claim that he has chosen the road less traveled, and this choice has changed his life.
And this choice has changed his life. Which lines are these?
These lines are 18, 19 and 20. Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Yes. So two roads diverge in the road, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. This choice has changed his life. The choices that we take up in our life that change our life. Okay? It's at first we are the ones who decide, who are the ones who are the deciding factors about what is to be taken up, right? But later in life, whatever we take up, whatever we decided in the first place, those choices make our life. They make us. We make choices at first, but later on, our choices make us, right? We are what we choose to be in our life, what we picked up on our way, on our journey of life, isn't it? Okay. So now having done this, the next part is regarding the key themes. Okay. So the main idea, the key themes of the book, right? So in the same worksheet, here you can see the second activity. Okay, activity number 2. I have these two boxes on the top. You can write more themes also. Two boxes on the top are for the two themes that you can think of. You can think of more themes also. And for each theme, what insights you gain out of them. Okay? What themes are there in the poem? insights you gain out of it. Okay, first of all, write down the themes. Then I'll show you over here what themes have been mentioned over there and whether or not you are right or whether you are wrong. Okay, Yoji, would you like to tell?
The author had the confusion between the roads. He wanted to choose both the roads, but he was unable to plan. He was a single person and he could only choose the one road. He also had some regret for not able to travel on the highway.
So that would be the summary, but what do you think can the theme, the major theme, which umbrella can you put it under? Yes.
But maybe it can be life choices decide our future.
Yes, our life's choices decide our future. Okay? What can be the second theme?
And the difference these choices make in our life.
The difference these choices make in our life. Okay, very well said. And any other thing that comes to your mind? Anything else? Yes.
Mom regretting the decision of choosing the not choosing the first one.
Okay, regretting the decision of not making the choice of taking up the first option. Okay, though it was readily available for you, but you opted for the second one or maybe the third one, whatever was in front of you, whatever you felt would have been better for you, right? Okay, so now regarding this, I'll just show you the themes mentioned over here, and then thereafter we'll be writing the insights.
The speaker comes across a fork in the road. He has to decide which path to take. His choice.
What is the fork? Fork in the road is?
Under diversion.
The diversion. Yes, the diversion. What does this diversion signify? These are the choices that one gets and the dilemma that one person is in order to make the right choice, right? Because that state of duality, that state of being, doubtful, what is right, what is wrong for us, is what actually hampers our decision, and it might numb us down for a while. But thereafter, we have to put everything together, and then we have to make a decision. Okay, right? So let's see what is there ahead.
Will shape his future. This poem is about making choices. In the journey of life, we all
So as rightly said just now, okay, making choices is the main idea, the theme behind the poem. Okay, so let's hear the.
have to make choices. We will know what we have chosen is right only after.
So like the way in which your law college, medical college, engineering, what is to be done by you in the coming times. In class 11, which field will you be choosing for yourself? That will be deciding for you what you have to do in the coming times. You can't come back, if you trace back your footsteps and come back to class 10's final exam, wherein you will be asked to take up the stream, right? You will be asked to take up or fill up a form here by the end of your pre-board exams, and you will be asked to take up the stream, right? So that form is filled and you have to decide, you have to pre-decide everything, right? And keeping your ideas, your choices in mind to take up a decision for yourself, right? Will you be able to come back to that particular stage of class 10, maybe in the month of Feb or March, wherein you will be taking up the same decision for yourself? You'll never be able to come back to that time, right? That is going to be a crucial decision for you, right? So such things, such incidents keep on happening in our life, right? And we keep on coming across such kind of places or maybe things wherein we have to make a choice, we have to take an option out of all the available options in front of us, and those options and those choices change our life. Okay?
So we have made the choice and seen the consequences. For example, the speaker looks down the road to see where it goes, but he cannot see very far because of a bend in the undergrowth.
Right, as mentioned earlier, when you take up a choice, to an extent only in the beginning you can understand what all it holds for you. But what exactly lies ahead is something that will come to know only when you start living it, when you start working it, right? When you start maybe understanding it.
In other words, he can foresee the consequence of his choice up to a certain extent. The rest is a risk he has to take. Life, therefore, is as much a matter of choice as of chance. So
Life is a matter of choice and of chance. Chance is something that happens to you, that is something which is destined to happen, right? But there are certain things that we cannot leave to destiny. Can we? Okay? We can't, right? If we will be making efforts in class 10, that will be deciding our grades. That will be deciding my future path, my stream, okay? Where I want to go ahead in life, right?
in the future, when the speaker reminisces with a sigh, the sigh will be that of self-satisfaction at having chosen the right road, or the sigh will be that of regret at having lost the opportunity to take the other road. Whatever are the consequences of his choice, the speaker predicts that in the future he will say, I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.
Which road did he choose? Second one, which was less travelled by. Why he thought that he should take up the less travelled one?
Because it would offer more advantages.
Yes. Why would you take the road which is less travelled? The option which is not being taken up by many people in the coming times.
We will choose that road or that option because not many people are there in that field and we can get a good opportunity to flourish there.
Yes, you can get a good opportunity to flourish over there. Yes.
Less competition will be there.
Less competition will be there. Maybe that's yes.
To be unique and different.
Very well said. Very good. Okay, to be unique and different, you'll be different when you're doing something new. Okay, yes?
And this is also about the adventure of taking the path that is unknown.
Yes. So exploring the unexplored, the adventure which is there. Okay, yes. Very well said. Very nice. So let's move ahead.
In other words, the road he takes or the choice he makes will change his life. Once a person has made a choice, it is not always.
Okay, so the next thing that was, I think, told by Advait, that undoing of choices, not being able to take up, and Tanisha also had said the same. Okay, so not being able to take up the other choice. Okay, other option, the leaving behind of the other options that you had in your life. So that is undoing of your choice. So here, undoing of the choice is that once you've taken something, you've decided something, you can't go back. And you have to keep on moving ahead on that particular, you have to stick on to it, right?
It is possible to undo the choice and start again. For example, the speaker wishes that at some point in life he can retrace his steps and take the other path. But one path leads to several new paths. Thus, one decision can have far-reaching consequences or will lead to a crossroad where he has to make yet another choice.
So here, this is the major reason why you can't actually go back to the earlier stage. Why? Because one way you have chosen, you will be moving on, you'll be walking ahead on that particular road. You can't come back. Right?
The poet's use of terms such as yellow wood.
Now we are moving forward to the poetic devices. Okay, so what poetic devices do for us? What is the purpose of a poetic device?
Ma'am, they make the poem more imaginable.
More imaginative. Okay, so you can imagine more and
The poetic devices add beauty to the poem.
okay, it adds to the beauty of the poem, add to the beauty and meaning of the poem. Okay, yes, very well said here. So here, can you see that we have imagery? Okay, so which imagery is here in the poem? Wherein you can imagine that yes, the person is there standing on the road in the yellow wood and he is taking a decision. Okay, he has to decide which road he has to move on to. Yes,
Imagery of sight.
imagery of sight. Which other imageries do we have?
Now what is imagery of sound?
Imagery of sound, imagery of touch, yes, and imagery of sound and taste, okay, and smell, right? So whichever imagery, whichever sense is evoked with the help of what all you are reading, that is that particular imagery. Here we can imagine the picture of a man standing at the initial point of the fork in the road, and he is trying to take a decision. And you can imagine that. You can imagine the yellow wood. You can imagine the yellow forest. Okay. What is that yellow forest? Yellow forest is which weather it is representing?
Represents forest and autumn.
Autumn. Okay. Autumn represents the crucial time when a person takes a decision. A crucial point in your life. Okay. So here we have these lines which are full of imagery. Two roads diverge in a yellow wood, where it bent in the undergrowth. So you can imagine that the road is moving, road is there, and you are there, and the person is not able to see beyond it because of the undergrowth, because of the bend in the road, right? Then the next one, because it was grassy and wanted here. So here the poet wanted to explore the road, okay? Why? Because that road was not walked upon. It wasn't trodden by anyone. It wasn't used by anyone, and therefore he wanted to do that, right? And you can imagine in your mind that how it was grassy and wanted here, okay? And both that morning April, May, no step had trodden that, okay? So how those two roads were equally covered by leaves, okay? And how the leaves actually turn into black color when they are there, when somebody walks on them. Okay, so that is the meaning of trodden land. But here, why the leaves? Why the poet could actually see that the leaves could not, the leaves were actually intact and nobody had walked on them, because they were still of the yellow color, right? Okay.
Undergrowth, grassy, and lake in leaves creates for the readers an image of a forest in autumn. The diverging roads are a metaphor.
Okay, so here the very next poetic device in the poem is metaphor, okay, which is prevalent in the entire poem, wherein the road stands for the choices that we make in our life. Okay, you can also say that the road mentioned over here is symbolism. Okay, that is symbolism also. It symbolizes what? The choices that we make in life. Okay, yes.
Metaphor for the choices we have to make in life. Frost uses simple language and the metaphor of diverging roads to represent all the choices that we make and those we do not make.
Fine. Okay. So now having done this, okay. So here metaphor was for the road. Okay. Folk was also for the choices, and that also represents metaphor. That is metaphorically the choices that we get in our life, the options that we get in our life. Moving ahead, let's practice a few questions.
Now let's take a short quiz on the poem The Road Not Taken.
Are you ready for the quiz? Yes, ma'am. You think that you are well prepared for it? Yes, ma'am.
Read the extract given below and answer the following questions. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. What was the narrator contemplating? Click the correct option and then click submit.
Okay, so who would like to answer, Jimmy?
First option.
How you could travel both the roads at the same time? Let me check. He has answered. Let's see whether or not he is correct. So let me submit.
Not quite. The narrator knew that he could not travel both the roads and be one traveller.
Okay,
Try again.
Let's try again. Okay, Dia, you wanted to answer? Yes.
Ma'am, what should be which road to be the road to jail?
Which
B
one?
part or second part?
That's correct.
Okay.
The narrator was at a crossroad and was contemplating which road to take.
Well done. Okay, next question.
What do the words yellow wood signify?
Yours?
The dry yellow autumn.
Okay, the dried yellow ornaments. Okay. So I'm submitting this.
Well
answer.
done! You have identified the correct answer. The words yellow wood refer to the dried autumn leaves on the trees and the pathways, which give an overall yellow hue to the woods.
And also the yellow wood represents what? The crucial time in our life during which we make a major decision, right?
Read the extract given below and answer the following questions. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. In this verse, what does both refer to?
Yes. Anuj.
The diversion.
The divergent roads in the wood.
Well done! The narrator is standing at a fork in the woods. He is contemplating which road to choose, as both the roads are fairly alike.
And why is he doubting himself? Because he might not be able to come back. Okay? And that is a human tendency where you feel like taking up what all is available, but you want just one person, that is your inability to do each and everything, okay, or take up all the options available, right? So the next one.
Why did the narrator keep the first road for another day?
Sejal, yes.
Ma'am, because he could not take both the roads at the same time.
Because he could not take both the roads at the same time. Okay.
Well done! The narrator could not travel both the roads at the same time. He had to make a choice. So, he decided to take the second road and keep the first road for another day.
Good. Now next one.
Why did the narrator doubt that he would ever go back?
Why he doubted himself? Why he doubted that he'll ever come back? Okay. Yogan?
The last option.
The last option is choice of the path between two other paths, making it difficult for him to come back. Okay.
That's correct. The narrator knew that way leads on to way. Thus, it would be difficult for him to trace back his steps and undo his choices in life.
Okay, great.
Read this extract and answer the question. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere, ages and ages hence. What will the narrator say in the future?
Okay, so who would like to answer? Okay, we would on here. The path he chose has changed his life.
That's correct. The narrator would say in the future, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. In other words, the choices he has made have changed his life.
The choice he made changed his life. As I had said that initially we make choices and our choices make us.
What is the tone of the poem?
What is the tone of the poem? Yes.
Ma'am, reflective.
Reflective. Okay.
Well done. The narrator is reflecting on his choice of path. He is also reminiscing how his life would have been if he had chosen a different path.
Now, very well done, class. So today we have completed the summary part, the paraphrasing part. Okay, we have also covered the poetic devices, and we practiced a few questions over here. And in the next class, we'll be taking up the question answers. Okay, thank you, everyone.